So on today's video, it's all about one and only Lupe Fiasco, the Chicago lyricist who has always been one of the most thought-provoking voices in hip-hop. But his latest move, let's just say they've gotten everybody talking, from AI-generated music to teaching rap at Johns Hopkins University to defending his students in a way that sounds more like an action move plot than reality. Lupe is shaking the culture like never before. Now, for those who don't know, Lupe Fiasco has never been your average rapper. He's always operating on a different wavelength, whether it's dropping social conscious bars, calling out the industry, or experimenting with his music in ways most artists wouldn't dare to. But recently, Lupe has taken things to an entirely new level. First off, he launched something completely unheard of in hip-hop space, a radio station called Endless LUP. Now, what makes this unique? The station doesn't just play his music, it plays an AI-generated version of his songs. And yes, you heard me right, Lupe is artificial intelligence to create new versions of his own work. It's futuristic, it's polarizing, and honestly, it has a lot of people in their feelings. Now, just imagine coming to school and finding out that Lupe Fiasco is your professor, and apparently he will be teaching courses that focus on the craft of rap, treating it as both an art form and an academic discipline. And for Lupe, this is about preserving the legacy of hip hop and ensuring that rap is studied with the same respect and poetry as classical music. He made an announcement on his Instagram a while back. Let's hit the ground running in 2025. Thrilled to share that I'll be joining the facility at the prestigious Johns Hopkins University Peabody Institute in fall 2025 as a distinguished visiting professor teaching rap as a part of the groundbreaking new 4-year hip-hop degree program led by the visionary professor. The Peabody Institute is one of the oldest music conservatories in America, world renowned for its rigorous training and for producing some of the world's greatest musicians, and I'm honored to contribute to this legacy, doing what I love most, rap. I'll continue teaching at MIT and pursuing my fellowship at Yale while advancing rap studies and practice into upper echelon of higher education at large. See you soon, Baltimore. As you guys can see, Lupe sounds pretty excited about it. But during a recent Instagram live, Lupe responded to all the criticism, and let me tell you, he wasn't holding back. He straight up said that if anyone disrespects him, or worse, his students, he's ready to take it to the streets. In his own words, he's willing to put hands on anybody who crosses that line and will proudly stand in front of the judge to defend his actions. Now, y'all gotta let that sink in. This is a Grammy-winning artist, a college professor, and hip-hop icon saying he's ready to throw down to protect his principles.
As much as you want to try and put it on me, you're destroying the culture, you're doing this, you're doing that. The moment that y'all start charging for this, it was over with. Period. You never supposed to put a price tag on culture. Once you do that, it's over. And it's a free fall. So now everybody in.
He's absolutely right. Now, can you imagine when hip hop first started, nobody was benefiting or making any profits from it. And again, like he stated, once that started to happen, and that's when pretty much everything started to become watered down. No one was passionate about it, and people were only doing it to make money. So the real love for hip hop is definitely lacking in that department, because if you truly have a passion for something, you will do it for free, and you will do it while no one is watching. So once the money got involved, everything started making a shift. Many people might feel that music should be free,
right? And in the midst of that, you lose sight of the people who really give a fuck about it, right? But people so worried about themselves and living vicariously through others, or like, how can I add myself to the narrative of this other that ain't got to do with you, right? Not knowing like you really destroying the culture. But whatever, it's not artificial. Endless Loop will be in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I'm going going out there to set it up, and then I'm not going back to that. So I don't know what's artificial about it.
The world of technology has come so far. Most of the time, people fear what they don't understand. But when you really think about it from Lupe's perspective, it's really a clever idea. And he's very strategic on how he's going to do this because it's only limited to certain locations. Don't know why he chose that location. And on top of that, not everyone is going to know English. But with the technology right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they had some type of translation put into Lupe's song, and it's only FM radio. And it's a clever way for him to get his buzz. So when he drops a new album or is getting ready to release, it will be exclusive and it won't be found on his radio station.
Exclusive. See if you make it out there and have fun. Let me know what you think, right? People were so concerned about my politics and my relationship to my critiques of Barack Obama that they said, whatever Lupe doing, we don't care. Okay, fine. Right? With that said, my colleagues are Black. SOSA, which I started, Society of Spoken Art, the entire founding membership was all Black MCs. But it was never a DEI project. It was never something where it's supposed to be pushing the Black agenda. It was never none of that. Because I feel that as long as you create something great and that it sustains, that we need that. Right? We don't need this color-coded that just kind of, and not saying that that's what people are creating.
This is where the confusion comes in and this is why many people have a problem with this. Mainly, the Black community, and hip hop is Black culture, and it's embedded, and it's all we know, and it's a lifestyle. And most people feel that it needs to be gatekeep and not be shared, invite anyone in. But Lupe wants hip hop to last for at least over 1,000 years, and this is why he decided to teach hip-hop, making these type of moves. And he stated it shouldn't be color-coded, and all have to disagree with him just for the simple fact. Now it's nothing wrong with what he's doing as long as he'll teach hip-hop in the right manner and really explain how it started, who created it, and what community did it come from, and give the proper credit. That's pretty much why most people have an issue with it. But what do you guys think? Drop a comment below.
That's what the only thing that'll generate. But I chose to focus on spaces and places where I could learn how to sustain, and subsist throughout time on my own. SOSA don't take grants. We don't accept money. We don't do any, right? The goal of SOSA is to be 1,000 years, period. Right? It's not meant to be some flash in the pan program connected to some other program that they using you to really go get money from somebody else. And then if you ain't get the money that season and you get the funding pulled and your program is out of there, you know how many programs and institutions are littered with the bodies of mothers who are overly connected and overly leveraged?
That's a fact of what he's saying, but when you actually think about it, not all of his students are not gonna make a living off him teaching rap. They can't get a degree off rap. This is why it doesn't need any grants in the first place. And the reason for them other institutions that have leverage is because they have to meet a certain demand of constituencies. Look at the perspective of what students are seeking, and some of the students are just going to do it just because of the experience. And most people don't see how him teaching hip-hop will be beneficial towards students, and it doesn't really make logical sense.
Waiting on money via somebody else to run their programs. When you start putting money on culture, it falls apart. Right? It's over. If you can't do that for free because you love it and it sustains and subsists for free, then it's a wrap.
And again, he's still saying that it's free, but most people think that a higher education should be paid for because you'll be learning something that not everyone else is learning. And I'll have to agree that it needs to be some retention for students who can't afford it. Lupe's just now launching this and getting things off the ground, so you can only just have to sit back and watch and see how it's going to pan out. But this is definitely a major situation for him. But it's a lot of people that's dropping out of school due to that reason.
I'm talking to whoever gonna get to last for 1,000 years. If you ain't on that type of time, I ain't on that type of time. I love MIT. I don't get no what I say. I love that place. If you get too out of pocket, I might beat your ass over it. You touch one of my students, I definitely clear you and drag you out there, kicking and screaming, and show up in court and do it again in front of the judge. Don't get it fucked up. It's all MIT gang over here. I listen.
Now, even though he's smiling and making light of the situation, but you could tell that he's serious and passionate about what he's doing. He's standing on it and he's willing to crash out over it. So at the end of the day, you gotta respect, and he's putting his life on the line about it.
And with that said, if they fire me tomorrow, I still have the same respect. Right? You ain't finna talk about my hood. Period. That's more than the West Side too. But you better believe, if anything I'm affiliated with, you come at me sideways about it, and you can't prove what you talking about. If you want to take it to throwing hands, you'll get your ass whooped over MIT, which is crazy to say.
Now let's be real. AI in music is already a hot topic, but when someone like Lupe, a lyrical purist in many fans' eyes, dives into it, you can imagine the backlash critics are saying. This could destroy the authenticity of hip-hop, a genre built on raw emotion, storytelling, and lived experiences. Now, fans have taken to social media to accuse Lupe of selling out or diluting the culture. One person chimes in and says, "Hey, Lupe Fiasco selling out the rap to MIT because you never got the love you wanted. Nefarious work. A Lupe Fiasco LUP project isn't going to help democratize hip-hop. It's only going to take the spirit out of artistry. A Lupe Fiasco, I don't want AI rap. Cancel that ish. I hope I never become a lame like Lupe Fiasco." Now, as y'all can see, the people are not feeling his decision at all. But from the sounds of it, Lupe is not worried, and he's ready to take on anything that comes on with it. Every consequence, he's not backing down. But what do you guys think about Lupe Fiasco being a professor teaching rap? Drop a comment below. This has been an exclusive message. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.